What y'all think about this Ocean Gate shit?
Woo!
Submarine where the people got lost at sea and then ended up imploding. What y'all think about the Ocean Gate?
I think it's a distraction from Juneteenth.
I just got put onto that whole shit, so I kinda heard the whole
All 5 of them got.
Not the whole thing, like people's family wanted to check out the wreckage of the fucking Titanic and I guess spent millions of dollars to
$250,000 per travel.
To jump in some shit that was made to supposedly
Yo, I heard, and then the boy didn't even want to go. He went to impress his dad.
That was probably some old Final Destination shit right there. He was probably the first motherfucker that was the train reaction to be like, alright, I got the bad feeling, nobody should go to this shit. I'm not going like how all the Final Destination movies we got one person
aside from the thought of going to the bottom of the ocean to look at what's now probably a
right.
Let me out though.
Why in the hell else everything else in that equation added up fast?
One at a time.
Aside from the thought, as wild as the thought is of going to the bottom of the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, there's something that we have never even really seen. Everything else in the equation is from the steering controller, you know what I mean, being off of Amazon to the chamber being only have a certain amount of hours of pressure, but can only be open from the outside. Like, bro, what?
Yeah.
Why would you want to go down there to look at that? And then if something happened to that submarine down there anyway, we didn't got the you can't even get you up. That was a setup.
Once you screwed in that motherfucker, you was in that
setup. That's how I felt.
That was it.
It was a setup and a sacrifice to the ocean.
Man. Yeah, I mean, shit, they should have at least had some shit to keep in contact between them and who they did. Was they doing that shit to let them know what's going on?
They lost contact.
They got the audio for that.
As soon as they went down there, the moment they lost contact is when the shit imploded. What you say?
Oh, when it imploded?
Yeah.
Oh no, yes, I'm gaining shit as y'all was talking, so I'm learning and shit. So
I ain't paying attention too much either.
I just kind of heard. I ain't really watched the news, and then I've heard from like a third party person.
$250,000.
That's just wild, bro.
That's that per person.
We should have been a bigger submarine than this. Fact.
They're the size of a minivan.
What?
Yeah, and guess what? I don't care if the motherfucker's the size of the Titanic going down here, nigga. I don't want that much motherfucking water on top of me. It's a different story being on the beach and chilling. You feel me?
They talking about they can't find the bodies. Well, they're ate up.
Right, facts.
You know what that much pressure do to you? And
yeah, that's what I think.
It's stuff down there that we don't even know about.
What about them 500 refugees that died above water? Or what about them Haitians that's floating over to Nicaragua and then walking up here?
They wasn't rich.
South America that's walking up here and getting turned around at the border. You're talking about 5 people on a submarine that made a choice, a stupid ass choice to go to the bottom of the ocean. There's people making choice to walk, you spend their whole life to try to get here and get turned around at the gate.
There's people out here.
They're about to make me take a stance that I don't usually like to take, but based on what y'all saying, like, I mean, okay.
How would you feel if you told your family member, if you was telling like somebody close to you not to do some type of shit like that, like, and then they fuck around spend all their life savings or whatever to do that shit and that shit happen?
Well, let's put it into context. If the person I was telling was a billionaire, I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a select few things I can tell him that he's actually going to listen to because he's a fucking billionaire. 1. 2, if I'm a billionaire's son and I say I don't want to go, my dad wants to take me, I'm going to automatically just attribute his choices to his wealth. So, because of that, I'm going to probably just acquiesce to him, think he's know what he's doing. Now, we can definitely critique. That shit wasn't a submarine, it was a fucking tube, nigga. Like, like, you know what I mean? It's not a minivan, nigga. It's a fucking pressurized tube. It's like, what the fuck?
It's pretty small.
It's a tube, bro.
That's why I said there was too much shit going. Yeah, okay. Let's be specific.
It was only 5 people there.
Let's be specific. It was a Logitech controller.
Right.
I don't know if y'all have ever had Logitech speakers. If y'all had Logitech speakers, cameras or shit like that, like web cameras. This was $29.99 on Amazon.
Facts.
The controllers for your Xbox cost $60 to $70. Yeah. Put some respect on your consoles. You know what I'm saying? That shit was half. This shit is back in the day. Also, it's a tube with no windows. You can't even see out that bitch. They have a camera that it's a screen that shows the camera on it. I have the my phone is utilizing what it's utilizing right now, but it has.
If that's the fucking case, nigga, why the fuck y'all can't do that shit from the fucking launch gate?
That's what I'm saying. If you a billionaire,
you can float over the shit. You're like, oh,
and you
it's under us right now.
That,
you want to go all the way under there?
You're a billionaire and you want to do something like that, bro. You had so many different options.
There are
you could have went with.
I want you to understand there aren't so many options when it comes to treading in territories that we have not explored
at all.
Like when you go to, they actually had a success rate, even though it was minor. It's like there's not that many actual physical people that have traveled to the depths of where the Titanic actually occupies and been able to make it back successfully. The last one on the ocean gate, if you read the story, they fucking got caught in the turbine or the mill of like a part of the sector, them touring it. They got caught. They was there for an hour. Everybody thought they was going to die, whatever the fuck. And then a Russian person that was able to navigate them throughout that, and then they got back up to the surface. Like this, they've been there before. However, it was almost catastrophic the first time, which is why they shouldn't have done it again, which is why I agree with y'all to an extent that they shouldn't have done it. However, it's hard to tell a billionaire or people that got cheese to not do certain things.
Yeah, but what is not
they've done everything. They have
done
everything. They don't give a fuck. They signed waivers and said, even though I know it's a 67% chance I might die, I'm willing to do that. And if a person is willing to do that, let them. Now we can look back on what's going on. Also, they got a documentary on this shit already fired up. It's fired up already.
What am I going to
Already.
I wonder, is it real though? Like, is it like from the people doing
right,
like
just
shit, like on some old
shit.
Blair Witch shit? You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers talking and showing each other before they get on there.
We ain't never seen these niggas.
Listen,
we never seen these niggas a day in our life. We never seen these niggas a day in our life. We don't even know if they really exist. We don't know if they really went down there. And also, if I'm myself and I'm that company, and this is there's no windows. You can't see if you going down from start to finish. You don't know what's going on.
Why the fuck would you even want to be?
I could have dropped you 1,000 meters, bro. I could have dropped you down just 1,000 meters.
It looked like it was a
and you could have made it seem like it's you've been on a ride where they got like the fucking the board and shit. They got like the screen. They make you feel like you going through the ride and shit. You got the goggles on and shit on and shit. You think you going through the shit. You could have sunk them. Easy.
He said lick.
Easy. But niggas actually
quick
died.
million.
How the fuck? As soon as they lose contact, that's when the shit imploded. It's supposed to be a 3.5 hour trip, nigga. We know 3.5 hour flights. We know 8 hour flights to where you thinking like, damn, this shit goes south. It's gonna be like this. However, this shit failed so soon that they lose contact and imploded. It turned to a print. Okay, if y'all never seen the movie Underwater on Hulu, I advise y'all to watch that. They was in the same pressurized situation, being that low down in the atmospherical pressure in the ocean. Like it's like tiers, like 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. They was in the 4th tier, and then now they had like special suits in which, like, if they had to go make repairs, they had to go escape or something to get to pods or whatever. They can do it within the suit, and then but they had to be 100% proof. Like it couldn't be nothing. Like if the vision or the goggles was off a little bit and any air or anything could seep in, it'll start cracking. Like just like if you in space. If you in space and you open the door, you gonna suck the fuck out and then shit gonna happen to you. Just like if you on a plane.
That's why motherfucking NASA.
So the shit was cracking. They like, oh, get inside. Like we gotta go back. You're like, I'm not gonna make it there, nor am I gonna make it back. So it's just over with. They're like, no, we can do it. And you just see the shit cracking. As soon as you see one drip of water, like one small bead drip in, this nigga body turned into a pizza roll. Boom, it's over with. Boom, over with. Too quick. Doop, and it like you just see little burgundy water and the shit just float up. Ooh. He dead. Boop, burgundy water. He over with. Pizza roll.
We would have been gone anyway. I got bad anxiety.
I encourage y'all to watch the underwater shit so you can understand when they say it fucking shrank on them or it fucking, you know what I mean, turn into
they had a thing on. No, y'all remember Mythbusters?
No.
Y'all remember the show Mythbusters?
Yeah.
Used to come on. They used to do little experiments on shit that people believe, but they had one on there like if you go so deep in, they had a dude in a diving suit.
Yeah.
And they put a lot of pressure on it, bro, and he turned into soup.
They killed him on the show?
No, it wasn't a real person, but they made like a human, you know what I'm saying, like out of organs and shit, like, and they put a lot of pressure in there, bro, and he turned into soup.
And for the person that said, fuck them, what about the 500 refugees that died above water? If you got 500 refugees on a boat or a private charter that potentially could be entering the, that was in the Greece waters, right? I think it was 750 that actually was that boarded that, what they call it, it's not an escapade.
Container shit?
Nah, like the fucking, the excursion, where the fuck that actually got on the shit. You right. 250 of them survived, so the 500 people did drown or like they were lost and they're unidentified. However, they didn't fly, they're not on the submarine, they didn't do that. These are refugees. They're not spinning their bag to get over here a different type of way. They taking the charter, private charter, whatever the hell. And this happened. And this had nothing to do with the U.S. You should contact their countries and find out why they're not fighting for their refugees going to another country. You need to contact them. But when it comes to us in the States, we don't fight. You would have a problem. Okay, we had an issue with us joining or assisting Ukraine in their wars. Yeah. And they had an issue with us allowing Ukraine refugees to come into the States. This is the same example. So you can't expect America to always be big brother and big superpower and then also expect America not to help out other countries. Pick and choose. Either you want us to help everybody or shut the fuck up when you don't help nobody. Like literally, like you gotta pick and choose. Now, what about them? Granted, that shit should have got some press, but it had nothing to do with I don't think any Americans was on that boat, so why would we give a fuck? Anyway, and they weren't billionaires, and they're refugees. They're not like, no disrespect. I'm just saying, like, you can't ask me to have this stance and then not understand as an American why I feel the way that I feel. These are escaping. They are escaping war. Yes, it does because we are their allies. So how could we help the billionaire and not our own allied refugees?
First of all, we couldn't help the billionaires. They
was
done. As soon as they sealed that motherfucking door and closed that, they was in their coffin.
We got that, and also we got the bread and dip. So it was what it was. We got the bread and dip. There was no help. And even our allies came and assisted them because they are billionaires. These niggas are refugees. Not one billionaire on that shit. Like, I hate to sound like a classist, like, but come on now. Who would you help? Bill Gates on the boat? Bill Gates, Jay-Z, Beyonce on the boat versus
500 people?
500 inmates in Chicago. Nigga, I'm about to go help Jay and them. Like, just the thought. Like,
yeah.
If you don't know nobody. I mean, somebody, if you got a particular, stance. Or I'll give you an example. 500 people from 500 people from Vietnam. 500 people from Vietnam versus our upper class here in the States.
Yeah, you could have said
how many is it? How many people is it though?
Yeah, you could have been like,
how many people is it though?
15 people in that motherfucker.
Because I'm probably gonna
see 8 of your family. Who you gonna go grab first?
Exactly.
You gonna go straight for your people first. You ain't gonna go for nobody else.
Yeah, you go for yours. I know that might sound crazy. I'm not trying to make it seem like, but nigga, if we in America, we American. Why wouldn't we help Americans? Even though it was in Canadian waters, but nigga, that's right there. That's right there. We're not going to Greece, though. Man, come on, man. Stop it. The people that's closer to them. Talk to them, attack them. Even though they're our allies, they're not ours. They're allies. Like, damn, you the homie and shit, but at the same time, bro, I gotta put my kids first. Like, these are my kids. Sorry. Can't come pick you up, and I'm lit as hell, and I got my kids with me. Like,
thanks.
The fuck? Well, I need to take care of my kids versus going into a dangerous situation. You got into a scrap and you got jumped. Nigga, I got my son with me. I know I might be the big dog to help you out in these situations, but I can't do it right now. Yeah. I can't. This is what's going on over here.
So we'll spin that block though later on.
Yeah, for sure, right? For sure. Inmates are different than refugees. I know, just an example. I know who this is.
But I think I'm gonna go help the 500. I'm gonna help the.
That's what
you feel me? 500 over one life.
I think you're not gonna help nobody. You're just gonna try to get the information because also I think that the people on the Ocean Gate, they were trying to disprove certain myths about the Titanic, like the iceberg myth and things like that. Because
what was you gonna do with a fucking camera and a fucking? What was you gonna disprove that you couldn't disprove with a fucking sonar device?
Fact.
To go down there with a remote from the fucking top of the surface.
I don't know if sonar worked.
They wanted to do.
Nigga, you don't know what Alvin is? Nigga, they sent Alvin was a remote control machine that they sent down there that got hours of footage driving around to Titanic and shit. Like,
It's not human. It could all be people.
it don't matter, nigga.
People-
Like the human, you can still.
People want authenticity, bro.
Yeah,
Well, they
see.
authentically crumbled.
That's true.
No.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, yeah.
Imploded, nigga. That's what they
That's
did.
crazy.
We have.
That shit is just that shit is just outrageous to
Right.
think about.
Just see that
Honestly,
little
like,
bubble of water just
What
going
more
to the
proof
top.
do they need?
Like, damn.
Enough. Really, people paying $250 to go out there and
Yeah.
collect their
I
own.
mean, I remember I
They
seen
wanna
some
go
shit that was like,
see, actually be
I
the
can't
only
remember
people
what
that-
it was.
What did
It
you
was
go
on YouTube.
collect?
That shit is deep.
Okay, give you an example. All these documentaries that are costing however many hundreds of thousands to make about the Titanic. We think we know what happened during the Titanic. Got movies and everything. So if you can go down there and dispel that and make that all of that we've been told a fallacy. Hold on, make it a fallacy. That's marketable. It also sounds like a conspiracy because you would think at certain times they would have things set in place to be like, oh, you want to come to see the Titanic, my nigga? A lot of people be trying to do this shit on private billionaire. They want to come down here.
Talk about some real shit.
The Navy is sitting right here. A nigga say Trigger Trey talk about some real shit. Fuck that shit. Hey Trey, I don't know what you want to talk about, bro. What he from? You want to talk about Coney Island or something? You want to talk about what's going on? You want to talk about 42 Doug's case? You got to say some real shit. Like, tell me some real shit that you want to talk about, and then we'll quantify that in the conversation. However, we talking about billionaires and people losing their life. I don't know what's realer than that, because I don't know if you know any billionaires. You know people that lost their life.
He didn't hear the whole conversation.
Oh,
He just took it. That's why I'm back.
okay. Now, I will say this.
Gunna a snitch. They stupid. We know. So is 6ix9ine.
Gunna is a snitch. All right.
Some niggas like
We're
his
going to put a
music.
button on this. Rest in peace to the people that lost their life.
Did you ever hear about that the Titanic really didn't sink?
Right.
About J.P. Morgan?
Yes,
All
and
that shit?
the Rockefellers got off. Somebody wasn't there. It was like the 5 richest people in the world were on the
And
Titanic.
J.P. Morgan
Me.
wasn't there?
No, J.P. Morgan